Hello, I'm Flavia and I appreciate you stopping by. So today I am sharing lots of card examples using the Spellbinders Mary Stitching die set. And if you do not like stitching on cards, there will be one card example at the end of this video using the same die without the stitching. This is the die set. It comes with 6 cutting dies. 3 are the stitching dies that will cut holes on your cardstock so you can stitch on it, and it will also leave marks that you can follow as a guide. The other 3 dies are the coordinating dies that you can use to cut these images out if you like. I know, it is not Christmas yet, and I'm not going crazy. These are not going to be Christmas cards. I will only use this long border die on the left. I think we can use this one to make cards for any occasion. For this panel, I'm using both dies to cut it. I will place it at the bottom and run it through my die cut machine. I like to use this purple tape to hold my dies in place, but you have to be careful when removing it so it doesn't damage your cardstock. This is a 6x4 panel that I will later trim it to fit a 4 1/4 by 5.5 card base. Next, I will use this 3-in-1 We Are Memory Keepers tool to poke all of those die cut pieces out. Once I'm done, I will use my scissors to cut out this section at the bottom. I want to show you here the 2 different looks you can get. On the right is the panel I cut using just a stitching die, and on the left I used both dies. Now it is time to stitch. I keep all of my DMC flosses in this box. I like this organization system because I can see all of the colors that I have, and it doesn't take that much space. These are 6-ply flosses, but I will only use 2 flosses for each color. For this panel, I chose the metallic color E155 and the colors 340, 209, and 210. I will start by taping one end on the back of this panel and then start stitching. You could just tie a knot, but for me this is easier. And later I will add liquid adhesive just to reinforce it. I'm starting with the metallic floss. I love this color. However, metallic flosses are a little bit tricky to use because they become undone easily and they also tangle easily. I like to just hold it in place in the back before moving on to the next hole. I find it helps a lot when working with metallic flosses. Now I'm going with the color 210. It is very easy to stitch when you use these dies because, like I said before, they not only cut the holes for you to stitch on, but they also leave engraved lines for you to follow as a guide. That means you do not have to follow a specific order. As long as you cover all of the engraved lines, you are fine. It won't matter if the back of this panel looks like a mess, because nobody will know. Once in a while, I will skip a section by accident, because I'm usually doing this and watching TV at the same time, so if you notice it, know that I will go back later and fix it. I know for some people this seems like a lot of work, but for me, this is very relaxing. Because I'm feeling purple today, hence my nails, my next panel will have darker shades of purple with this metallic teal color. The teal color is the DMC E3849, and the other colors are the 552 and the 333. I'm repeating that same process here and just trying to go over all of the engraved lines and taping the ends in the back. I'm using a heavyweight cardstock. If you do not have a heavyweight cardstock, you can always die cut it twice or 3 times and stack them. It is important to use heavyweight cardstock when stitching on cards so you do not accidentally rip off your panel while stitching. Now I'm going with the color 333. You can always cut your floss shorter so your arms do not have to work so hard, but I prefer not having to stop all of the time to get more floss. This is now the floss 552. The right thing to do would be to stamp the sentiment first, just in case you mess it up. However, I just couldn't wait to start stitching, and that is why I will be stamping after I finish this. I'm using these honeybee stamps, birthday stamps, and die set. The die set comes with one word and two shadow dies. One shadow die has full stitching pattern and it is just beautiful. You can stack them together or just use the word, or you can use just the word with one shadow. The mini ink cube that I'm using is by Hero Arts in the color Passion Flower. I thought it would be a good match, but I did not like it at all after I had embossed it. I just thought it didn't match. Luckily, I have the coordinating die and I will be able to fix this. This is why stamping before stitching is a bad idea. I think that this Altonil ink in the color Lavender Fields is a better match for this panel. So I will create my own colored cardstock by applying it directly to a piece of white cardstock. Then I will die cut the word birthday. The stamped sentiment will show a little bit, but I think it looks cool. It will work as a shadow for my die cut. Now that I'm sure about the ink color, I will stamp the words Have a Happy. To adhere this panel to my card, I will use a strong liquid adhesive. Now I will let this dry under a very heavy dictionary. It is important to place something heavy on top of it while it dries because there is a lot of stuff going on the back of this stitched panel. And finally, it is time to add some embellishments. This is the panel we made using the teal and purple DMC flosses. I adhere it to a 414 by 5.5 card base. I'm using strong liquid adhesive and I will add silver beads to this panel. I'm using the two smaller sizes that came in this kit that I got from Amazon. I love that it comes in many different sizes, all sorted out for you. This way, I do not have to waste my time looking for the sizes that I need. And you get gold and silver beads in just one container. They have a flat back, so it is great for handmade cards. And this one is the first panel we made. I adhere it to a light purple cardstock. I'm also changing my mind here regarding the ink color. I'm doing that same trick here by adhering the die cut on top of the stamped sentiment. It won't cover it completely, but I kind of like it because it gives a shadow to my die cut. Next time, I might even do this on purpose. It is easier with intricate die cuts like this word to add an adhesive sheet to the back of your cardstock before you die cut it, so you do not have to add liquid adhesive. However, I always forget, and to be honest, I'm used to just using liquid adhesive, especially because I have this needle tip bottle that makes it very easy to apply a precise amount of glue. Instead of the silver beads, this time I will add these gems that I found in my drawer. I think they complement this card better. And the best part is that these gems have adhesive in the back. And check out how beautiful this looks. Now I'm going over the die cut with my Nuvo shimmer pen. Notice how much shimmer it has. Because you can never have too much sparkle, I would add another coat. My cardstock actually stained the tip of this pen the other day. That is why it is pink. But after I cleaned it, even though it is still stained, it doesn't change the color of the shimmer. Now I'm applying strong liquid adhesive and I'm adding silver beads again, just like I did with the first one. For the last card, I want to show you that you can use these dies and get great results without having to stitch. This is a 414 by 5.5 panel and I will use the stitching die only. I will place it in the center and run it through my die cut machine. Then I will place this die upside down and die cut this panel again to create this beautiful pattern in the center. After I poke all of those pieces out, I will add a piece of metallic silver cardstock in the back, in the center, and adhere it to an A2 size card using the corner of my Misty tool again. This is going to be white a blue card with silver details. This Thinking of You die is from Simon Says Stamp. I cut it twice and stacked them for dimension, just like the wonderful Jonathan Maguire does. Then I will place it right in the center of this card and go over it with my shimmer pen. Here is a closer look so you can see all of the beautiful details created with the stitching die. I am now adding some pearls. I'm using 2 different sizes, and that's it. Very easy to make, but still beautiful and full of details just like the other ones. I want to show you now all of the cards that I made in the last few days using the Spellbinders Merry Stitching set. I had a lot of fun making these cards, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. In the description below is a link to my Instagram and blog. You can always find a supply list of all of the products I used in my blog, along with pictures and more information. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Take care, and I hope to see you next time.